Our next guest joins us to talk about the government funding deadline later this month, President-elect Trump's latest picks for his administration, and the new Department of Government Efficiency. Let's welcome House Majority Leader Steve Scalise from Louisiana. It's good to have you on, Leader Scalise. Thank you.
Good morning. Good to be back with you.
I want to get your reaction to something that was actually said yesterday. Vivek Ramaswamy was at our CNBC CFO Council Summit, and here he is talking about potential cuts to government spending, and then we'll get you to weigh in.
Is there any one thing that President Trump has told you? I want you to go cut that.
I think he actually is looking at it the other way in terms of keeping a very open mind, top down, to say that let's start with a clean slate. Let's start fresh, and everything is in scope for what counts as government efficiency. It's not one part of the federal government or the other. It's actually looking at it as a whole. Are we respecting the taxpayer dollar? In some ways, to use an analogy to those in this room, in the way that a CFO would look at their shareholder capital.
Leader Scalise, I mean, we've got deregulation and possibly, streamlining government. How much can actually be done? Are you optimistic that we can make a difference, or that DOGE can make a difference?
Yes, I'm very optimistic. And in fact, one of the things we're going to be talking about with Elon and Vivek today, a lot of our members have ideas, have been working on various committees on things to do just that, to cut government waste, to identify and root out a lot of inefficiencies in government. And we're going to be working hand in hand. And, we want to share a lot of those ideas, the things that we've uncovered along the way. We also want to make sure that as they're identifying things, they're getting those to us quickly so that we can put some of those items into law, because there will be some things President Trump can do on his own through executive order. There will be some other things that we're probably going to need Congress to pass through, let's say, budget reconciliation, which is a bill we're working on already for January with President Trump's transition team. So that conversation's been going on for months. But, this addition with DOGE, I think so many people are very encouraged by the idea. Look, it's a refreshing idea that we're going to actually make government work better and make your taxpayers go further. There are probably 75% of federal employees here in Washington that still are not showing up to work under the excuse of COVID. COVID's been over for years, and yet you might wait right now months and months to get a passport renewed. Some people are waiting years to get a tax return processed from 3 years ago because those employees aren't showing up for work. So it's hurting families all across this country. Those are the kind of inefficiencies we're going to be looking at all across the board.
How much can be done without actual legislation? And the reason I ask is you just noted that there may need to be some legislation. What's the House going to look like at this point? I've seen, with some of the appointments and some people leaving and some close results that we still don't have yet, if you can believe that. But do you expect the overall environment to be any easier for anybody to get anything done if you only have a 1 vote or 2 vote margin in the House?
Right. We're going to settle in probably at 221 Republicans in the House. We have the majority, whether it's a 2-seat, some months because of people that are going to be pulled out of the House into the administration. It'll narrow down probably for a few months to about a 1-seat majority. And we're already working on recognizing that. By the way, earlier this year, we were at a 1-seat majority, and we still took care of our business back then. So this isn't new for Speaker Johnson, myself, the rest of our leadership team. It makes it challenging, make no mistake. I mean, we'd all take a 20-seat majority, but that's just not realistic. I wish states like California would learn how to count like every other state, where you can get the results of the election on election night, not 3 weeks later they're still counting. But at the same time, whatever the final number is going to be, Republicans will have the majority in the House and Senate. President Trump will be in the White House. And we're already working with President Trump. I was on a call with Senator Thune, the new majority leader coming in. We're all working in sync to make sure we deliver for the American people.
Well, you remember it was, I just thought it was a raucous caucus the last 2 years. And you remember the freedom.
That's a fair term.
Yeah, you remember the freedom side of things. They could be different now with Trump. Couldn't they? Can he turn the screws on some of those guys? I wasn't sure what the hell they were trying to accomplish. Other times I knew exactly what they wanted to accomplish, but Will they be as outspoken? And was it difficult to satisfy all their concerns? And we do have budget talks coming up again. Will that not be the case with President Trump at the head of the party?
Yeah. Look, we're already having some of those meetings now for what's going to happen in January. We're not going to wait until then to start working through what we know are going to be real challenges. But we're listening not just to Freedom Caucus members. You know, we have on the other side of the spectrum, you know, we have members in those swing districts, the 50-50 districts, that have different views on some of these issues. We're hearing all of them right now, listening to them. But we're also making it clear to everybody, you know, let's say when we're at a one-seat majority for a few months in February, March, April, we're all in this together or it doesn't happen. And we talked about very specific things that we will deliver on for the American people, like lowering energy costs, lowering food costs, securing America's border. All those things we deliver if we all vote together. If three people think they've got a better idea and they're just going to vote their own way, then it won't happen. And so I think everybody realizes, okay, look, now's the time to put your ideas on the table if you have a different approach. But at the end of the day, we're going to all come together. And President Trump is the leader of our party, and President Trump has a very clear plan. He ran on very specific things, and frankly, most of us ran on those exact same things in our districts. So all across the country, I think you're going to see, you know, the mandate that was carried out by voters on November 5th is going to be carried out by this new Congress starting in January. We're going to hit the ground running.
Leader Scalise, I guess it's what we do. We've been interviewing for House Financial Services Chairman. We've had Andy Barr on. We've had French Hill. And I can't believe we get down in the weeds to that extent. But we do. Who should we be hoping for? Who do you want? How's that? It is an important post, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, look, Andy's in the mix. You know, French, as well as Bill Huizenga and Frank Lucas. So, you know, you've got four great members that are on the committee today that are running for the chairman with Patrick McHenry retiring. The good news is we've got great choices. We're going to make that pick hopefully next week. The steering committee is going to be meeting next week, and that'll be one of the first ones we take up. Energy and Commerce is one of the other big committees that has an opening. You know, and these openings don't come around often, although at least on our side, on the Republican side, we have 6-year term limits for chairman. On the Democrat side, you might serve 20 years. And so, you know, the younger members see no path to becoming a chairman. Here you've got some real vibrant, energetic members that now have a chance to get the gavel on a real important committee like financial services.